Greetings ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this patch video for Thief Lord from the website Royal Road. This patch video will contain chapters 5 and 6, and as always I hope that you enjoy, and if you do, please consider subscribing. Chapter 5, No Escape. I take a careful stroll through the neighborhood, making sure that I peek around the corners to stay away from the most populated streets. I try not to look suspicious, but it's not easy when I know a single failed encounter can spell death for me. I try to walk near the city wall, trying to find an elevated position to get my bearings. I cross paths with a few low-level players, but none of them really stop to have a chat with me. Since I probably spawned in some starter zone in the city, I assume most people are trying to grind some experience points and gold to purchase a weapon and go adventuring, or something. At least, I know that's what I would do if I was starting playing this game for the first time. Hell, that's exactly what I did the first week after I started my necromancer. The good thing about enthusiastic new players is that they don't really have a reason to look for villains, like myself. Some of these players might actually have high perception skills, but none of them are bothering to check if there is anyone suspicious amongst them. Because why would they? They shouldn't care about this stuff until they'd either get involved with the larger guilds or they realize how much killing us is worth. In other words, the current situation suits me just fine. After a few minutes, I find myself at the edge of the residential area, which borders a large open plot of land full with players wielding wooden weapons, hammering away at straw targets while the drill sergeant yells profanities and instructions at them. I have most likely found the starting combat tutorial area. A small part of me wants to go join them, but I suppose there is no need to. They are more likely performing some basic quest that I won't be able to receive thanks to my status as a villain. It doesn't matter that much though, as I have other ways to level. There's a small church next to the sparring area which has a lot of players that seem to be priests and paladins congregating. That's likely where the local class quest starts out. Well, since one of those classes specialize in perception, I'll make my way over to them, eager to try and get some information. Walking up behind what seems to be a couple of paladins arguing, I gently lean against the church wall and pretend to check my status. Jesus Christ, Kaus, what's up with these quests? Pray for 4 wounded citizens in the church infirmary. I know I wanted to play a paladin, but holy crap. At least let me smite a few skeletons, or something. A tall and lanky human man wielding a large wooden club says, "It's just the tutorial, man. It'll get better once we get out of the city. Every game starts out with a few easy social quests. Let's just rush through them and get a good crap." The grey-haired dwarf wielding a wooden buckler and a club shrugs. "If we hurry, we can probably get out of the town in a few hours." The human shakes his head. "Yeah, I suppose. It just sucks that the game forces me to do these things. We're already far enough behind the general gaming population as it is, and if we don't hurry up, we probably won't get a chance to join a Dark Pegasus Guild." The Dark Pegasus Guild? Do you mean the guys who took control of the city? Huh. I didn't know you wanted to join them, the dwarf says. Of course I want to join them. The human raises his hand. Why wouldn't I? Don't you know that they're actually paying their officers to play the game? If I managed to strike it big, I would be set for life. Really, Greg, you should try and join them too. Greg chuckles. You think you have a shot at becoming an officer in a 1,000-man-strong guild? Come on, Kevin, get real. You won't have a chance to make the cut as a level 3 paladin. The only shot you have is to re-roll as a blacksmith and hope for the best. He shakes his head while grinning wide. Kevin snorts, as if there isn't enough money in the world to make me want to play a freaking crafter. He turns away and starts walking off. Let's just hurry up. The sooner I get out of this noob area and out into the wild, the better. He waves for Greg to follow, which he does, all the while chuckling at his friend's antics. You're too serious, Kevin. Interesting. So it seems this entire city is controlled by one large guild. I didn't know that. This might explain why there is a bunch of high-level players near Coleman Village when I decided to raid it. I wonder if they were a part of the Dark Pegasus Guild too. I make my way into the church and find a ladder to climb up into the church's spire. It doesn't take long, and I'm soon sitting on top looking out over the city. The sight that greets me is not what I expected. The noob area I find myself in is located in a tiny peninsula located high on some steep cliffs in the south of the city. There's only a single path connecting the peninsula to the main city, and it seems like I have to depart through a gated checkpoint of some sort. I wonder if I need some sort of special permission to leave. Looking around, I believe the noob area is where the local garrison and their families live. There's a small keep at the edge of the peninsula with a small residential area, a market and a sparring area completing this small part of the city. I can spot several dozen low-level players running about, most of them sparring below, while some of them seem to be transporting crates or delivering letters between the different marked stalls and houses. If I had to guess, I would say that this is the wealthier parts of the city, since the houses are quite large and spacious. The streets are clean and the NPCs look well fed and happy. It's a good way to introduce the city to new players, but the area is less than ideal for me. This place is way too cramped, as there are too many players walking around, and there is only a bare minimum of alleyways for me to hide my underlings in. If I want to start grinding out some levels, I need to get access to the main city as fast as possible. Descending the church spire, I enter the streets and make my way towards the gatehouse. I spot it at the northeastern part of the peninsula. As I near, I notice a few yells erupting from the area around the gate, slowing my approach. I decide to trail a couple of other players who seem to be drawn towards the commotion. A small crowd quickly gathers around the gatehouse. I don't dare step too close, so I sneak around a corner of a nearby house and find a box to stand on. Peeking around the corner, I lay my eyes on an orc player wearing a full set of mail armor, standing over a dead player on the ground. The orc seems to be really angry for some reason, while brandishing his deadly-looking two-handed axe threateningly at the gathered crowd. Further behind, I spot an elf in fine leather armor, with an expensive-looking bow tightly held in his hands. The elf gives me the creeps as I watch his eyes scan the gathered crowd for gawkers. No doubt using his high perception stat to look for any hidden villains. Whoa, I'm really glad I decided to hang back. Listen up, newbies, the orc shouts. This dead trash right here decided to try his luck playing a villain character. And let me tell you this, that crap won't fly in the city. The Dark Pegasus Guild has declared the city villain-free, which means that we won't allow the vermin to walk around freely. He stops to glare at the dead player for a moment. This gate, as well as every city gate, will be manned by high-level players from the guild at all times. Any villain discovered will be put down like the dogs that they are. He shouts, staring holes into and all the players gathered before him. If there are any more of you filth out there, know that your only option is to delete your character and try your luck in a different city, far away from here. If you are stupid enough to try your luck, feel free to step forward right now to save me some time. Alternatively, you could always check if your character can fly throwing yourself off the cliffs. That's your choice, but know this, there is no escape from the new district. We cover the only exit. He ends his speech by crossing his arms, taking up an intimidating pose while glaring at the gathered crowd. Ah, crap. I jump off the box and start heading in the opposite direction as quickly as I can. Damn it! I curse, my short legs carrying me towards the market segment of the noob district. Why didn't I do some proper research on the city? I can't believe such a silly thing like a weird starting position can ruin my chances to make it as a thief lord. What are the odds of me starting in a freaking peninsula with a 50-meter drop into a certain death in all directions, with only one way out that is constantly covered by high-level players? This has to be some sort of sick joke. I can't even re-roll my character into a new city, as there isn't any city in the vicinity that is large enough for me to play as a thief lord, without me abandoning the stash of resources I hid in the forest. There is no way that I am this unlucky. I gently rub my bridge of my nose. There has to be a way. There always is. I just need to find it. I look around, suddenly realizing that I just kept walking while being deep in my own thoughts. The familiar sound of metal striking metal draws my attention towards the nearby smithy. A few players run back and forth from the building hauling boxes filled with iron ore and coal into the smithy from a nearby wagon. Perhaps I can somehow sneak into one of those wagons when they depart through the gate. Now there's a thought. Inspecting the wagon closer, I quickly dismissed the idea. While the principle of trying to stow away on the departing wagon is sound, I just can't consider it feasible when the wagon is basically just a fat piece of wood connected with 4 wheels. There is no way to hide a grown man on that wagon, at least not in the way that it wouldn't draw attention. Not ideal for sneaking past a bunch of players with a vendetta against villains. I sigh, maybe there's a bigger wagon somewhere. Walking on, I soon come across a 3-story wooden building with a large sign depicting a mug of ale in the mouth of a gaping pig. The building looks withered by time, and a few glass windows show signs of cracking after years of weathering of the salty ocean air. So this is the local tavern, huh? I muttered to myself, sparing a thought to consider that I've developed a nasty habit of talking to myself during these past 3 months. I guess it was inevitable when I only play solo. Perhaps I should find some friends to talk to. I didn't have many chances finding a decent conversation partners when my only company for the last 3 months has been a walking skeletons. Pushing open the door, I squint my eyes trying to adjust to the dark interior. The tavern is almost void of people with only a scruffy-looking barkeep standing behind the counter, half-heartedly trying to wipe an empty mug clean. A couple of young merchants sit by themselves in a corner, quietly whispering amongst themselves. The barkeep throws me a sideways glance for a moment until he deems me worthy of his attention and keeps trying to wipe the mug that I am not certain is getting any cleaner. If you don't have any coin, then go somewhere else to spend your time. This ain't no charity. The barkeep grunts, his eyes still locked on the dirty mug. I start unsure as what to say. The barkeep raises his eyes, staring daggers at my hesitant form. Get lost. A chill runs down my back as his eyes radiate an unsettling feeling of imminent danger. Wait! I'm waiting for someone. They'll be here any second now. They have money. I blurt out the first thing that comes to my mind. I am obviously lying, but he doesn't need to know that. I only need a few minutes apiece to recruit my few underlings. Grunting, the barkeep diverts his eyes again. If they ain't here in 10 minutes, I'm throwing you out. And believe me, kid, you don't want me to throw you out. Understand? Yes, sir, I say quickly, scampering towards the corner table at the back of the tavern. I throw a sideways glance at the barkeep, noticing the nasty skull that has formed on his face. I'm fairly certain that barkeep is far more dangerous than I gave him credit for. That unsettling feeling from earlier could only have been some sort of skill, a powerful one at that. I think it's a high-level warrior skill of some sort, but I'm not sure which. The guy gives me the creeps, but if there's a high-level NPC here, then... My eyes go wide. Oh, crap! If he's a high level, then he should be at the very least have a perception score higher than 14. Halfway out of my seat, the tavern door slams open. A couple of high-level players enter. A human man and an elven woman, both level 44. The woman has a drop-dead gorgeous with long blonde hair stretching halfway down her back. She wears a dark grey robe and a copper tiara, signaling that she's a mage or a priest of some sort. Her bright green eyes light up the room as she throws a wide smile at the scruffy barkeep. "Morning, Joe. How's your day today?" The woman asks as quickly and makes her way towards the counter, only receiving a low grunt in reply. "Aw, don't be like that, Joe. Isn't that the proper way to greet paying customers?" She beams at the old man. "If you don't like it, go somewhere else," he grunts, returning his futile mug cleaning. The woman starts pouting. "Leave him alone, Anna. I don't think the old man has any secret quests for you, no matter how long you pester him." The tall human man wearing a full set of leather and chainmail armor says, Why not give up already? We've been coming here every day for 2 weeks. He shakes his head. Tch, she pouts. I know he has something good stored in there. There is no way such a high-level NPC doesn't have any secret quest of some sort. I'm not giving up. She grins, clearly not ready to give in. The human male only shakes his head solemnly. Well, while we're already here, why don't we grab a drink? Anna smiles. I can't help but wonder where she gets all that positive energy from. The man sighs. Fine, but you're paying. That is exactly why you're still single, Bryan. She laughs, pointing her tongue at the man. Bryan turns away from the chipper girl, trying to hide his reddening cheeks. Anna may not have noticed, but I sure do. Hey, Joe, can I have 3 of your finest mugs of ale, pretty please? She turns back to the barkeep, exaggeratedly buttering her eyelids. The old man only grunts in reply as he starts filling the mugs. 3 mugs? Bryan asks, looking confused. Yeah, I figured that poor guy over there wanted some company. He looks lonely. She turns in my direction, showing me a brilliant smile. My lungs deflate. Oh, crap. End of chapter. Chapter 6. Ale, Lies, and Secrets. Hey, little guy, mind if I sit here? Anna smiles as she slides into the seat opposite me, not even bothering to wait for my reply. Sure, go ahead, miss. I nod slightly, flustered by being put on the spot so suddenly. Pardon the intrusion, Bryan says solemnly as he sits down next to Anna. I apologize on behalf of my friend here. She isn't really that good in social cues. Shut up, Bryan. I'm doing just fine. Look, he doesn't look angry. Are you? She directs the question at me. No? You see, Bryan, it's all good. You should relax a little. If you twist the stick too much, you're gonna get hemorrhoids. She smirks at Bryan. Oh, pardon my French, little guy, she smiles. You'll get used to it. I'm Anna, and this party pooper over here is Bryan. She extends her hand in a greeting. Nice to meet you. I'm Ryan. I shake their hands in turn. So what's your story, Ryan? Bryan asks, no doubt cutting in before Anna says anything else that could be interpreted weirdly. Right. Crap. You practice this, Ryan. Just use the dad's famous one-liners. Giving Anna a questioning gaze, I turn to face Bryan. Nothing much really. I just logged into this game for the first time a few hours ago and had a look around. I stepped in here to buy a drink, but the barkeeper didn't accept my visa. I shrugged. Your visa? Anna blinked twice before she started roaring in laughter. You actually tried to buy with a credit card? That's hilarious. She guffaws. Please tell me you're joking. She wipes a tear from her eye. Nah, joke. Success. Trying to hide the grin of his own, Bryan tries to collect himself. Excuse me, sir. Is this perhaps the first time you've tried to play an online game? He asks, struggling to keep his voice even. Anna, on the other hand, is flying off the hinges. That worked better than I thought it might. Can I go for a double here? Why not? What's the worst that could happen? I stare directly into Bryan's eyes, steadying my breathing as I slowly raise an eyebrow. Whatever do you mean? A visa should be a perfectly valid transaction method, even across international... Nah, I'm just doing this for craps and giggles. I grin as I watch Bryan's face go from utter confusion to a wide grin of his own. Oh, snap, Bryan. He got us good. Anna chuckles, gently punching Bryan in the arm. I love this guy. Still grinning, Bryan buries his face in his hands. Ah, damn it, Ryan. You've done it now. It'll take hours for Anna to come down from this. Do you really want me to suffer this badly? Lighten up, Bryan. You could learn a thing or two from your short friend here. She laughs as her eyes meet mine. Now I definitely need to know your story. Her eyes squint at me. Trapmaker, you're a crafter. Nice. I don't see many of your types these days. The few people that even bother playing as a craftsman always choose to play one of the standardized production classes, like a blacksmith or an enchanter. Not many bother spending the time on making traps. What's up with that? Wow, Her perception score is really low. Not surprising for a mage-type character. But still, yeah, well, I recently went through some stuff in real life, and I thought I'd try out one of these games you kids are all talking about these days. Since I have to do something while I'm sleeping in this capsule, I might as well try doing something with my hands. I've always had an interest in making traps. Huh? How old are you? Anna cuts in. Anna, you can't just... Nah, it's quite fine, young man. She reminds me a little of my little sister. I'm currently 53 years. Real life level 53. I smile at the pair. Anna chuckles. Level 53. I love it. I would never have guessed. Your character looks like he's in his mid-20s. Wow. Impersonating Dad really pays off. I give her a meaningful glance. I may have tweaked the settings just a little bit. Can you blame an old man for trying to regain his youthful looks? No, sir. No, I can't. She grins, and a tear of joy running down her chin. I sit still for a moment and smile while Bryan admonishes Anna for her lack of manners. For the record, I am obviously lying about my age. I am in my mid-20s, but I figured masquerading as an older man would make it easier for me to sell the story of just playing the game to pass time. It feels kind of weird lying to these perfectly nice people, but it's not like it really matters when we're all online anyway. I will eventually just turn into a distant memory as soon as they leave this tavern and head out to adventure somewhere. That's the beauty of anonymous internet. I am a little surprised that I'm good at lying, though. It's definitely a breath of fresh air to see someone of the older generation take an interest in BR MMOs. Bryan smiles as he takes a sip of his mug. Yeah, you're good people. Anna giggles. We should try and get him into our guild. The Dark Pegasus is always looking for good crafters. What do you say, old man? Interested? I nearly choke on my ale as the question catches me off guard. I cough violently for a few moments until I manage to clear my airways enough to shake my head. Sorry about that, went down the wrong pipe. I appreciate the offer, young lady, but I only play the game to relax and see things that I haven't seen before. I probably won't stay online much, and I don't think I'll ever keep up with you young people, I say, trying to turn her down in the nicest possible way. Aw, come on, old man. It will be fun. I'll vouch for you. You don't have to do much, she says, leaning in closer while touching my arm. Lay off it, Anna. The girl doesn't take in anyone below level 20. Level 10 if they're a craftsman. Ryan seems like a nice guy, but if what he says is true, then I don't think that he can level up as fast until the requirements rise. Even if the guild master is your sister, I don't think we can justify picking up just about anyone. Ryan says evenly, no offense, Ryan. None taken. I smile, internally celebrating, as this could have turned real weird, real fast. Tch, she pouts. We could team up and I could boost you to level 10 if you want. She asks me hopefully. Anna, that would take days. You would fall too far behind the rest of our party. Bryan shakes his head. Don't worry about me. I can catch up. Please. You two don't fight over me. I am happy the way I am. I try to calm the situation. What the hell is wrong with these people? Who goes to such lengths to level 1 player that they met for the first time 10 minutes ago? Still pouting, Hannah glares at me. Fine, but I'll still add you to my friends list. My elf, Aeromancer, Hannah Owl, and Windrider wants to add you to her friends list. Thanks, I smile, accepting her invitation. Luckily, the villain class doesn't block friends' requests for some reason. I probably shouldn't accept it, but I think that would just bring more trouble than it's worth. I could always just delete her later, but that could be bad if I run into her again. I can always change my privacy settings to appear offline during the daytime. So what's your plan going forward, Ryan? Bryan asks. I was planning on doing a few quests to make enough money to try my hands at making some of these traps. I'm really looking forward to trying some of these designs. I say, glad to finally have a change of topic. Ooh, I can help with that. Here, take some of this. I have plenty. Anna perks up as she places a few coins on the table. My eyes widen as I realize that she just put 20 gold coins and a small stack of silver and copper coins on the table. A small fortune for a player just starting out at level 1. 1 gold coin is worth €1, while 10 silvers are worth a gold coin and 10 copper coins are worth a silver. I can't possibly accept. I start, too shocked at the gesture. It's fine. My sister has plenty. You're a good man, Ryan. I only am happy to help. She beams at me. Normally, I'd be happy to rob other players of their hard-earned money when someone hands it over willingly. However, on top of me lying my rear off, and them just makes me feel outright bad about it. I need to repay you somehow, I mutter, my eyes still fixated on the small pile of gold. Then keep playing the game and make a grape trap for me. She grins, taking a large swig of the mug of ale. I just smile at her antics. I feel even worse for lying to her now, but I really appreciate how pure she is. I don't think I would ever just hand away money like that to anyone for such a trivial reason. But it certainly warms my heart when I get to meet people with such pure intentions. I will, some day, I say while downing the rest of my ale. So what are you two up to? Bryan sighs. We're heading out to meet the rest of our party. We should have been playing with them since this morning, but someone, he glares at Anna, decided to rather try and fish some secret quest out of the barkeep in the middle of the noob district. Tch, I had to try, didn't I? It's not like it's putting us too far behind, she shrugs. You are aware that the stupid trip cost us a large chunk of renown, right? His jaw clenches. What? You mean that necromancer business? Don't sweat it. There'll be more necromancers for us to kill. She shrugs while yawning exaggeratedly. I am pretty certain I see that Bryan is about to pop a virtual blood vessel. Wait a second. What's this about necromancer business? That was a freaking level 38 necromancer. Are you aware of how rare they are? They only like 20 of them who's past level 35, and this game has millions of players. Where the hell would we even find one that's worth enough renown to bother hunting down? His voice strains as he's trying to keep his cool. Anna returns his glare with a scowl, deciding to intervene before things get out of hand, or, God forbid, we draw any more attention. I clear my throat. I'm sorry, but is this necromancer thing important enough to argue over? I say calmly. Little do they know I'm trying to stay calm the situation for my own sake, not theirs. Breaking eye contact with Anna, Bryan is the first to meet my gaze. I notice a glint of anger in his eyes until he finally realizes how silly they must look. Closing his eyes and taking a deep breath, he finally seems to calm himself down. You're right, Ryan. I am sorry about that. His cheeks turn crimson before he quickly turns his head away. Anyway, it was nice meeting you kids. I think I'm going to go check out the neighborhood before morning and maybe try my hand at some quests. I smile as I get up on my feet and do a few light stretches. Idle hands make idle mind. I'm not going to admit that the real reason I want to get out of here is that I don't want them to notice me venting my frustrations in a very unfitting manner for an older gentleman. The necromancer subject is still a bit too sore. Yeah, I think you're right, Bryan says, following my example of getting up. Or we could grab another mug of ale, Anna grins. Maybe another time, I smile at her. Anna starts pouting, but her frown quickly turns into a mischievous grin as she leans towards me. Hey, we're not really supposed to tell anyone outside the guild, but what the hell? I like you, Ryan, she whispers, her grin growing wider. I raise an eyebrow in confusion. What do you mean? Anna, what are you? Bryan starts, but is quickly waved off by Anna. Oh, shut up, Bryan. It's not that big of a deal. She gives him an angry glare, and Bryan looks like he wants to protest, but his shoulders soon slump together in defeat against Anna's steely gaze. With a snort, Anna turns back towards me. Right, this has to stay between us, so, please don't tell anyone. Promise? My eyebrows rise up in surprise at the sudden development. I have no idea what's going on, but color me intrigued. I give her a quick nod before I lean towards her. She smiles. Right, behind the tavern here and a few other places scattered around the town is an old entrance to the sewers. There's a bunch of level 1 to 3 rats down there that don't put up much of a fight. I think it's the only place in the entire noob district where you can do some actual combat. If you collect their tails, you can turn them into the church for some easy coin and experience. It's the best way to level up quickly. She winks. This needs to stay between us, though. My eyes brighten at her words. There's a secret area that no one knows about. Could this be a way to escape the district? Holy crap! When did I become this lucky? That sounds very interesting. Thank you, Anna. I promise not to break your trust in me. I nod sincerely. Well, sincere is in that I won't tell anyone, since the entire trust aspect of our relationship went straight out the window the first time I opened my mouth. She smiles. Thank you again, Ryan. I had a blast meeting you. Yeah, me too, Bryan mumbles, still red in embarrassment after Anna chastised him. Human Templar Bronze Silver Scarred wants to add you to the friends list. Quickly accepting his request, the three of us head to the door. See you tomorrow, Joe. Anna laughs as we exit the tavern. The sour old barkeep grunting maniacally in return. I think the old coot is warming up to me. As we step outside, I wince as the sun threatens to momentarily blind me. I think we spent too much time in the gloomy tavern. We should do this again, Anna says. Send me a message whenever, all right? I think I will. Thanks for everything, you guys. Next time the ale's on me, I laugh. It's a date. Anna waves the pair and they start walking off. I stand back a little while, just looking at the pair departing forms. They eventually turn around a corner and disappear from view. My hand immediately clenches, and I slam it into the tavern wall, eliciting a creaking noise from the old wood. So, it was their party, Good to know, I mutter, as I turn around and walk back into the tavern. End of chapter. And that, my friends, concludes this batch video. If you enjoy the story, please don't forget to go and show the author some support. And if you wish to support this channel, there are links down below. The easiest way to support this channel would be to subscribe and share as much as possible to help this channel grow. And I'll see you all in the next video, and until then I hope you all keep well and safe. Cheers.